Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Early Edge. A very happy Friday to all of you, especially you in the chat who have already hit the like button. Before we get things started, and we have a busy show, let's take a look at the recap screen. This is kind of a funny looking recap screen. The left side, terrible. The right side, amazing. This adds up to 8-1. I mean, that's not a great day. It's certainly not a horrible day, but I got to tell you, a couple of these picks could have come in. They didn't. 8-1. I mean, I guess we'll take it. We got to move on. Lost some juice for sure, but we're going to do better because, ladies and gentlemen, we have the support of you in the chat, but this team, SportsLine, has the support of the incredible crew that we have on BPE Friday.
Let's go!
Let's go. We've got the bookworm. We've got whatever Buckets is doing. We've got the shadow boxer. And we've got on this Friday, if you're feeling a little low, a little tired, need a little pick-me-up, well, how about a chip-me-up?
Good morning, Sia. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, Timo. Good morning, Early Edge fam. Oh, boy, I'm not going to be getting in the ring at 58 years old, but somebody will on a Friday night. And I'll tell you what I am going to be doing. I'm going to be staying up because I've got a late night Friday night winner and a couple for Saturday. Let's go.
All right. So I'm so glad you brought up the Tyson fight. I ran a poll on Twitter earlier this morning. We're just going to go around the horn really, really quick before we get into our picks and maybe just a reaction or two about Thursday night football. Brasco, I know what your answer is. Between Tyson and Jake Paul and the John Jones fight, if you had to pick which one you'd rather watch, it's obviously John Jones, right?
UFC 309 is going to be fantastic. This is a ridiculous fight that they're putting on. Should be an exhibition. I can't believe it's a sanctioned pro fight, but here we are. A nearly 60-year-old man will take the ring. And yeah, I'll be talking more about that on HQ tonight, so stay tuned for more.
But answer to the question, which one would you rather watch? The John Jones fight or the Mike Tyson fight this weekend?
It's got to be the John Jones fight. There's just so much more on the line in terms of legacy and implications in the UFC. What's really on the line in that Jake Paul Tyson fight other than whatever answers to questions that I've never asked will be answered?
Buckets, your answer to that question.
I am going to be watching the Jake Paul fight, unfortunately. That's the one I'm more excited about. I think even more unfortunately, Jake Paul probably wins that fight. So do what you will with that.
Chip Patterson, what's the answer?
Quick, I'm going to reverse it. Quick hand up if you understand what a VHS is.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Because my experience with Mike Tyson is VHS tapes of Tyson fights. And so, I am hitting the nostalgia drip that they are going for, and I will give them about as long as most of those fights on those old VHS tapes, 2 to 3 rounds, and then I'm out, okay? Yeah. If they try to drag this out and rope-a-dope me to watching even longer and deeper into this fight, I will not do that, but you've got me for 2 to 3 rounds.
All right. Mike
McClure, I got to say, they made it 8 2-minute rounds, I think, Chip, for that reason. I think they're going to rope-a-dope you into a long fight, but go ahead, Sia, sorry.
Mike McClure, what's the answer?
I'm not watching the Tyson fight. I can tell you that. So I'll watch some UFC, but not too interested personally.
All right, fair enough. As much as I want to talk about reaction to this Washington game, we've got a lot of picks to get through. I want to give it a shout out to my guy Josh Goldman. You might have seen this posted on Twitter as well. He had a 260-1 ticket on Washington losing to Philly 26-16, and if not for the 2-point toe tap by Zach Ertz, he actually would have cashed that ticket. These are not tickets he usually places. He just happened. It's 6 times a year. He's a friend of mine. I know this for a fact. Maybe 6-7 times a year, he'll pick a correct score on a primetime game in terms of making the bet. He made the bet. He stood to win 4 figures, and Zach Ertz made that toe tap, which was really quite incredible. But shout out to Josh Goldman for losing that bet. I truly unbelievable. He posted it all over social media. Mike, if you had that ticket, that's a pretty tough beat because it didn't look like Zach Ertz got in, but on review, clearly he got in.
Yeah, he clearly got in. It was a heck of an effort, a heck of a catch. I would have liked to seen the Eagles really clamp up just a little harder in the final minute. It was one of those unfortunate situations where it really didn't matter, to the Eagles is enough. So yeah, just unfortunate, but that's the way it goes in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to college football. This is how we do the show. Chip, you give out a Friday Night Lights pick. We go through all of our picks, and then you close the show with a couple college football Saturday picks. A lot of college football on today's show. And Chip, it includes a Friday night pick that I like quite a bit.
Yeah, late night. We got two teams, both with first-year coaches, going in opposite directions. Arizona starts the year. You're thinking they're joining the Big 12. They might be a player. They got Noah Fafita, Tet McMillan. Well, things have not gone well. They've lost 5 straight games, and they have been the favorite in 3 of those 5 games. The vibes are horrendous. Our very own EC, Eric Cohen, who hosts that Wednesday CBS Sports Network show, which you can find on the SportsLine YouTube channel right now. I mean, he is down so bad talking about this team. And it's one of those times where you're at home, but when the vibes are bad, it's almost a home field disadvantage. You know, you have that just collective grumbling of tens of thousands of people can impact the play. On the other hand, Houston is finally starting to get some confidence. Are they a dominant team? No, but they've got a great first-year head coach in Willie Fritz. They've won 3 of their last 4. Their defense has been solid all year. And basically, it's like he looked at his playbook and he realized that they can't do most of it. But they found the 6 plays that they can run. And those 6 plays, dadgummit, are going to help them be able to win this thing 21-17. So we're going to go Houston as a short dog on the road at Arizona late night Friday night.
All right. I like this play. I know some smart people that are also on Houston in this one. Buckets, before we get to your picks, I want to shout out the chat. Japan loves the VHS references. Chip Patterson. Eric David says the last kneel down cashed my Hurts rush attempts prop.
Oh,
Love to see that. And Brad Bet says, oh, look, Jake Elliott just missed another field goal, which is actually pretty funny. And I got to give Big Cheesy a shout out because he was in our chat yesterday. He gave out a 1:00 college basketball play. I think it was on North Dakota or North Dakota State. Well, it cashed. So he's in the chat right now and he says, hey, we've got more early morning college basketball. How about Rio Grande -2.5? I mean, he's 1-0 on these early no-name teams, so why not jump on the train here as well? Buckets, I'm pretty happy because normally I get names I just simply can't pronounce, and I defer to you on the recap screen. These names I can pronounce. You got 2 picks for the pitch.
I'm glad you can pronounce them because I might struggle here a little bit. We've got starting off with San Marino versus Gibraltar, I believe is how that's pronounced. Close enough. Listen. We're taking Gibraltar on the draw no bet. That's currently priced at -145, which I absolutely understand is a bit more juice than most people will like here. But I need to explain why we're taking this bet. San Marino, as a nation, have played 242 matches. They have lost 230 of those 242 matches. They are ranked 210th out of 210 teams by FIFA rankings. They have 2 wins in nation's history. Both came against Liechtenstein, once in 2004 and once in 2024. This San Marino team is full of amateur players that play part-time after they're 8 to 5. They are playing a Gibraltar team that plays professionally. Gibraltar should win this outright, but the fact that you are ever going to get a safety net of a push if it ends in a draw against a San Marino team, again, that has won 2 times out of 242 matches, Sia, I wish I was one of those jerks on Twitter that was like, this is a whale, 400 unit max, I'm putting the house on this, because that is what I would do here if I was that kind of person. Put 1 unit on it and enjoy some Nations League football. Then for our second match, we've got Switzerland versus Serbia. I did pronounce both of those right. I practiced. We're taking both teams to score at -105. Switzerland, Swiss cheese. This team's defense is full of holes right now. Nailed it. Take both teams to score because both sides are missing 2 of their starting defenders. Both of these teams are absolutely shambolic when it comes to defense. And when they played in the World Cup, both teams to score over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5. Nothing but goals when these 2 teams lock horns. So take both teams to score at -105 all day, Sia.
Yeah, we got to
okay.
That.
We have to go back. I think
Did I mess something up?
Chip's grabbing a dictionary because I fancy myself a wordsmith. And you know that because I use words like fancy.
Is this for shambolic?
Shambolic.
Yeah.
What
I got it. I got it from the guru. It's a European word, I think.
Chaotic, disorganized, mismanaged. Wow, you taught us all something today, Buckets. That was impressive.
Oh
I
God.
literally have a list on my computer of words that I've heard Martin Green say, and I try to sprinkle them into different conversations every now and then.
That's great. Everyone will think you're smarter.
I said the word marauding once, and someone goes, "What does that mean?" And I said, "I have no idea." Martin said it like a year and a half ago.
Buckets, you know what's funny? If Martin said shambolic, I don't think anyone would bat an eye. But
but I come onto the show and try to express my. It's fine. It's fine.
Everybody, we need a slow clap. Stand up if you're at home or somewhere where you're not driving, and just slow clap for Buckets, because that was truly, truly impressive. By the way, I'm changing the subject. Joshua Goldman, who lost that 260-1 bet, he's actually in the chat. So send your condolences over his way. Hit the like button if you could. And by the way, if you want to make Buckets bets or Chips bets or the bets you're about to hear, go to BetMGM. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you'll receive up to $1,500 instantly if your bet loses with bonus code EDGE. That's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. All right, well, we got to get to golf. We got to get to more college football, a lot more college football, and we got to get to UFC. We're going to hear all about it right after this message from our partners.
Saturdays at 3:30, it's big time. Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
We're back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Another shout out to all of you in the chat and all of you that are subscribed to this channel. We eclipsed 100,000 subscribers to the SportsLine YouTube channel earlier this week, and now we march on to 200,000. We also march on to UFC 309. Danny Brasco, we talked about this fight. Jones Miocic, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. What's the play in this one? And then I know you got another pick as well.
Yeah, so a highly anticipated heavyweight title fight. John Jones, mostly renowned GOAT amongst the community, will look to cement his legacy here. We'll see if he walks off into the sunset. He's a huge favorite, minus 625, prohibitive favorite. So I'm not going to bet Jones. And Miocic, I think, can make this fight more competitive than the odds may suggest. I'm going to bet the over 1.5 rounds for that reason. Both of these guys have barely fought in the last half of a decade. Miocic hasn't fought since 2021 when he was knocked out cold by Francis Ngannou. And he's never been submitted in his career. I mention that because John Jones is really known more for his grappling than anything. Yeah, he's got this crafty style with his elbows and knees and stomping kicks, using all sort of these, creative attacks. But really, he's gotten it done with his grappling acumen. He only has one knockout, I believe, in his career. He's not known for his punching power. So Stipe never been submitted. John Jones fought Cyril Gane for just 2 minutes before Gane folded to a guillotine that was barely locked in. He had nothing for him. So Jones, before that, had fought 3 years prior. He's got 2 minutes of fight time in the last 5 years. I think there's a very likely possibility that we see a feeling out period, shaking off the rust, both guys just trying to find their rhythm, heavyweight, slow-paced. I'm liking the over 1.5 rounds at minus 160. It's since moved to 2.5 at plus 110. I would even wager that as well, but look for the all to 1.5 at minus 160. I like that line very much. And another fight I'm going to direct you guys to is Mickey Gall on the prelims. This is not a fight that's going to garner a lot of attention on this big pay-per-view card, but I think it's a sneaky good bet. Mickey Gall's a minus 140 favorite. I got him at minus 125 on the SportsLine site. And he's on a 3-fight losing streak. You don't often see a fighter as the betting favorite on a 3-fight losing streak. He's got an ugly 7-6 record, but the guy's been learning on the job his entire career. He came into the UFC at 1-0. He fought some kind of ridiculous names like CM Punk, the wrestler back in the day. But then they gave him to kind of fed him to the wolves, fought just fighters that were a level above him. Now he finally gets his most winnable matchup in years, taking on a guy in Ramiz Brahimaj who's 10-5. All 10 wins have come by submission. Mickey Gall's never been submitted in his career. 9 of those submissions for Brahimaj came in the first round. He may fatigue late if he can't get his grappling going early. And I think Gall uses his veteran experience here. His boxing's been getting better. He's been putting damage on his opponent. So I like Mickey Gall for a long overdue win here. Minus 140 for a guy on a losing streak. I think the odds are telling there. So give me the over in the main event and give me Mickey Gall for a sneaky comeback win.
Follow up from Japan, Danny Brasco. I think Japan's actually going to be at this fight, which is kind of cool. He says Jones by KO at plus 120 and then parentheses 6-12 elbow. And I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Any thoughts on that?
So yeah, new rule in MMA is they recently made 12-6 elbows, which means you can come downward with elbows legal again. The one loss on John Jones' career is a disqualification because he knocked his opponent out with then illegal 12-6 elbows. So he's looking for, a sort of redemption story arc where, he gets a legal KO with those. I don't know about all that. Like I said, John Jones not known as a knockout artist. I think if anything, maybe he overwhelms him with the grappling, gets a submission late, but it's possible, man. Plus 120 almost feels a little trappy to me, like bait.
All right, fair enough. Mike, let's transition. We've got a lot of college football to talk about still on this show. A ton of college football you can find on SportsLine on the daily. But let's talk about Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, Georgia, and unfortunately, this one's on me. I did not look at the market this morning. I sent these plays in last night and had it up on the site early in the week. I played Tennessee plus 11. The market has moved back to 9.5 this morning here. So different play than what's currently available. Still lean that direction, though. Again, example why you need to be on SportsLine. Put this play up a few days ago at 11. The quarterback situation is the story here, right? Is Nico going to play for Tennessee or not? When the line was at 11, I say no. That line indicates he's likely not going to play in the game. If he is going to play in the game, I think the line goes to 8 or 8.5, which is kind of where it was sitting before. And that's what, if you read the write-up, that's exactly what I basically said there. So if Nico plays, I think the number should be 6.5. If he doesn't play, I think the number should be 8, 8.5, which is why we got it at 11, like it in this spot. But when I look at this particular matchup here, it is not a normal backup quarterback situation. This is a quarterback that has spent his entire college career learning Josh Heupel's system. I actually would go on record saying he knows the offense better than Nico does. Now, he's not as athletic as Nico. He can't make some of the plays with his legs that Nico can, but the playbook doesn't change. It actually expands when you look at this matchup here. I think they're going to have some success running the ball, but mostly to me, it's nearly identical to Ole Miss. You watch the Ole Miss game against Georgia. Tennessee and Ole Miss profile very similarly. They're very good on the defensive line, and it's by choice. Both of these teams, their life has existed by having to go through Georgia to have any level of success in college football. Both of these teams have spent the last 3 years building teams to try and play a competitive game with Georgia. So I think Tennessee's defense gets enough done here. And again, just to play on the number, I think Georgia definitely wins this game outright, but I think it's too many points, particularly at 11. Still lean into it pretty hard at 9.5 because that number is going to go to 8, potentially even 7.5 right before kickoff if Nico is ruled in.
Yeah, but again, the headline is the more important thing. Be a member of SportsLine. Put your notifications on for Mike McClure so that when he posts something at plus 11, you all can enjoy that line as well. I'll note that I put in, this isn't a huge difference, but I put in the Falcons early Monday morning in the NFL, obviously. I shouldn't say the Falcons. The Denver playing the Falcons. I put that in money line at minus 120. That's at minus 135 currently, and I don't think that's going away. If anything, it might go up to minus 140. So again, these little subtle differences over a long period of time, whether it's on the juice or on the spread or total, those matter quite a bit. And Mike McClure could give a dissertation that would take 60 minutes on why that matters when it comes to long-term betting. But we got to move on. I'm going to be quick with my play. It's a round 2 3 ball. It starts in, I believe, 20 minutes. So you got 20 minutes to put this pick in, plenty of time. Andrew Novak, even money in a 3 ball against S.H. Kim and Ben Taylor. So this is a case of Andrew Novak had a really good day yesterday. We don't have the strokes gain metrics because it's over in Bermuda and we just don't have shot link, but we do have some metrics. Andrew Novak played pretty well, greens in regulation, accuracy, things of that nature. S.H. Kim and Ben Taylor, S.H. Kim was okay, Ben Taylor not so much, and that makes sense because they come into this tournament not playing well. S.H. Kim does have an advantage over Andrew Novak in the putting department long term, but Novak, good putter yesterday, and he's so much better than S.H. Kim and Ben Taylor with the ball striking. So I like this. I honestly think even though it's a 3 ball, this could be minus 120, minus 125. That line would make sense. I'll grab the plus 100 or in some places the minus 105. All right, we transition from college football to golf. Chip, right back to college football. You gave us a Friday night play. How about a couple Saturday plays?
Oh, and let's go right back to that game that was highlighted right there. Ooh, look, got a little sun coming through right there. All right.
AT&T Stadium.
Let's go. All right. I can see. Sorry, CD. CP's got this. So we're going first half under in Georgia, Tennessee, because a lot of what Mike was explaining is something that we have seen this Georgia offense have trouble with, because their best win of the season was against Texas. But you go back and the offense did not do a great job. Like, that was the defense setting up short fields and the Georgia offense being able to cash in. There was like one significant full length drive. And the fact that Georgia struggled with Ole Miss's defensive front, I think they are also going to be struggling struggling with the Tennessee defensive front. I think they're going to try to make sure that Carson Beck, who leads the daggum country with 12 interceptions, is not going to make a mistake early. Conservative game plan offensively, try to lean on your defense. And look, Tennessee's offense, while it is Josh Heupel, while Nico Iamaleava does have like a NFL type ceiling, the production just hasn't been there since the non-conference play early in the game. They haven't been hammering teams. They've been playing great defense and running the football. So I'm back in my bag with another first half under in a Georgia football game. Georgia, Tennessee, first half under 24.5. Also, I like Mike's play there too, because Trevor Etienne, the Georgia running back, has been ruled out. They were already thin at the running back position. It is basically just true freshman Nate Frazier, who hasn't had more than 19 carries per game, and now he's going to be going into the teeth of that defense. So, Georgia team total, full game under, all that I think is in play. But Tennessee plus the points, especially if you can get it out there at double digits, I like that as well. So I'm going first half under 24.5. And also on Saturday, we are playing for soap. Okay. This is playing for soap. This is playing for cleanliness. Okay. Fran Brown, the Syracuse head coach, explained after the game that he doesn't shower after losses. And look, Syracuse really blew it in the loss to Boston College because they had 3 failed fourth downs. They had an interception that led directly to a touchdown, and they lost by 6 points. Add up all those missed opportunities, and you can see where Syracuse lost the game. He wants to watch the film and sit in it. He doesn't want to live like that again. And they're playing in Berkeley, California. Now, do the math on the plane ride from Berkeley, California to Syracuse, New York. Do you want to be stanking on the plane from Berkeley, California to Syracuse, New York? You do not. We are playing for soap. So we take Syracuse plus the 9 points for them to play for soap and cleanliness and not lose again and actually get to earn a shower.
The Cuse is in the house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do
Buckets.
they shower with a cover or an outright win? That's the question.
Well, see, I'm only taking the motivation for cleanliness. Like I get plus 9. I've got room for them to have their hearts broken and still stink. But when you're looking for that,
cover is a shower with no soap. A win outright, you get the soap.
Yeah, Mike, I was going to say cold water.
Yeah. Mike, I know you had some follow-up on the running back situation, but Buckets, you couldn't control your laughter there. Any follow-up here?
My follow-up is that I am currently 0-2 this week on my early edge plays, so I'm doing what that coach is doing, and until I see a check mark by my name, I will also not be showering. So considering I will not be on the show again until Tuesday, let's hope we have a good day today.
Come on, Gibraltar.
Come on, Gibraltar and Switzerland.
Sorry, Freya. Mike, did you have any follow-up on because I know Chip was addressing the running back situation for Georgia. Any follow-up there?
Yeah, the interesting thing there is when you look at the running back situation, Etienne is a big name. He's been not terribly productive, but I think the bigger issue with Frazier is he has not been able to hold on to the ball. He has had a number of fumbling issues lately, and that's exactly what this Tennessee defense does to teams. So will be very interesting to watch how that unfolds.
Yeah, very interesting. By the way, there was a quick question before we get to the recap screen from Big Cheesy. He says, hey, you guys have that FFT DFS show today at 11 o'clock, right? Well, actually, that's incorrect. It's Thursdays, every single Thursday at 11 o'clock. But good news, Big Cheesy, it's still up on YouTube if you want to watch us live with the video. But it's in your Spotify, it's in your Apple, it's in wherever you enjoy your podcast, you can listen to that show. And I highly encourage people listening to that show because it has some prop and betting crossover. It's certainly a big time DFS show as well. It's me, Mike, and Meg Schaup every Thursday at 11. All right, let's take a look at the recap screen before we get you all out of here. I'm on a round 2-3 ball that starts in about 15 minutes. Andrew Novak at even money over S.H. Kim and Ben Taylor. Buckets, San Marino versus Gibraltar. Gibraltar, draw no bet. See, I still screwed it up. -145. Switzerland versus Serbia. Both teams to score. -105. Mike McClure, Tennessee, +1 at -112. That's the Volunteers, folks, not the Titans. Chip Patterson, Houston, +1.5. That's tonight. Late night football. We're all going to be up for that. Georgia, Tennessee, first half under 24.5. And Syracuse, +9. The soap narrative. Danny Brasco, UFC 309. Jones Miocic, over 1.5 rounds at -160. And Mickey Gall, money line, -140. What a great show.
Hey, you see, Jerry, Look how hard that was. Jerry Jones, come on. I know you watched it earlier.
Yeah, yes.
I just closed the blinds. Is that difficult? Come
Chip,
on,
he's
now.
going to call in. He's going to call in, Chip. Be careful.
Do y'all know, like, you all are aware, like, they have ways to shut out the sun, right? They have blinds, they have curtains that
They do them for concerts.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just funny. That whole operation. It's so nice to be a Washington fan, even coming off that pretty bad loss. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being in here on a Friday. We've got so much programming. Make sure you have your alerts on for all of the content that we bring you every single day on this SportsLine YouTube channel. On behalf of Chip Patterson, Mike McClure, Danny Brasco, Buckets, and of course, Debo helping out on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. I'm the Counselor of Cash. Have a great Friday, everybody. We rest our case.